All right, you guys, welcome in. Hey, Scorpio, how's it going? This reading is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Scorpios. So let's get right to it. Let's see what's going on. If you want to learn how to read tarot from me, there's a link below. You can do that. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. It's nice to meet you. End of August 2025. We have a lot of water energy here. We've got some Venus, beautiful Venus energy this week as I'm talking. I'll go through that with you later. We do have Lilith and Juno in your sign. And Lilith actually is trining Uranus in Gemini. So there's something about women speaking up. And you as a water sign, and it doesn't, well, let me rephrase that. It's not about the gender of women. It is about divine feminine energy. And that can be found in anybody, okay? There's something deeply empathic in that energy, deeply nurturing, kind of mama bear energy. Feminine energy is gender energy, and also divine feminine energy can flip, or rather the other way around. Profane feminine energy is like overgiving and victim mentality and all of that. You can find victim mentality in profane masculine as well. Different flavor, but it's there. Oh, look at that. Divine feminine energy underneath. No wonder I went on like that about the divine feminine. Soulmate. Beautiful energy. Guides. Wow. Scorpio, what's going on with you? Friendship. Oh my gosh, this is like the whole enchilada. That phrase came right into my head, the whole enchilada. So that is, I feel like I'm channeling somebody's ancestor who used to say that a lot. You're getting the whole enchilada. Somebody's mother or father used to say that to you. That's a little special synchronicity for somebody. Okay. So this is about feminine energy really aligning with the divine feminine. And Lilith, if you don't know, Lilith was the original wife of Adam. This is the story. And she wanted power and was left, summarily kicked out, both at the same time, of the Garden of Eden. And then they brought in Eve, who was much more compliant and was very subservient and really supported that patriarchal model. But Lilith did not. And Lilith in a feminine chart, in a female's chart, shows the kind of woman that you could become when you embody your power. Okay? And in a man's chart, it's the woman that he's terrified of when she's in her power. And that's his burden to embrace that divine feminine power. All right, so let's see what's going on underneath. 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, Hermit energy, that's Virgo, 8 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. I like this, I'm taking this. Hermit and High Priestess. There's a different kind of connection here. This is not a traditional soulmate connection. And right away when I saw this, I feel like, so guides are coming through for you very strongly here. But this soulmate friendship, this can be a friendship, but I feel like it's the most powerful kind of love that's built on a foundation of true respect and friendship with each other. A respect for each other's gifts. And I feel like some of you divine feminines might have been on your own for a while, and this is now an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity. So a trine is 120 degrees away, and a trine is like beautiful flowing energy. So Uranus in Gemini is about sudden conversations, and depends on what house it's in, that will tell you what part of your life those conversations will take place within, okay? And the Scorpio energy, which you're watching right now, that Lilith energy at 2 degrees Scorpio is pure scorpionic energy. So anything in the first few degrees of a sign is like double Scorpio. Okay. So if you are, whatever you have in Scorpio, whatever reason you're watching this, anything in the first 10 degrees or 0 to 9 degrees of a sign, including Scorpio, is like Scorpio, right? Is like the sign times 2. It's pure, unfiltered energy of the sign. And in this case, we're talking about Scorpio. The second 10 degrees, so 10 degrees to 19 degrees. So if you have planets in that part of it, it's more Scorpio Pisces. Go around, right? We go counterclockwise. So Scorpio, the next water sign is Pisces. So the middle degrees of Scorpio have more of a universal heart energy to them rather than the pure energy of Scorpio, which can be about risk taking, deep intimacy, and all of that. In the second 10 degrees, it's much more about spiritual connection, which I feel like this is. All right, this is a very spiritual connection. So you may have had the experience of early Scorpio kind of love, which can be very upending. It can trigger a lot of deep trust issues. It can, and especially around power. Okay, because your modern ruler is Pluto, and that is all about power. And the traditional ruler is Mars, which is masculine energy in a kind of unadulterated form. But when Pisces comes in, when that second 10 degrees of Scorpio Pisces, there's a universal heart energy that breaks through. The third 10 degrees is Cancer. So Scorpio, Pisces, and then Cancer. Cancerian energy is the home and hearth. So if you have anything in the last 10 degrees, so 21 degrees to 29 degrees 59, because there's no 30 in astrology, right? We just go right to 0. In that last bit of Scorpio has matured into this, how do I feel nurtured? How can I feel myself nurturing myself and myself nurturing other people? So let's see what the rest of the reading brings here. There's more Virgo. So you might be dealing with a Virgo here, and I see Cancerian energy here. Excuse me. You could be, this is the World card that I'm just showing here. There can be a reversal of roles. I'm just getting a flip of the energy here where, you may have the more masculine. If I'm talking to a divine feminine here, if I'm talking to a feminine energy here, you may have the more masculine, which does happen when divine feminines are kind of not in balance. How you know you're not in balance is if you have a hard time receiving, because that's very feminine energy. You're all right with like taking action, but you have a super duper hard time receiving love. And that's when it gets mature. When we get to that third decan of Scorpio, it doesn't mean you're always going to be pure Scorpio energy or Scorpio Pisces. It doesn't mean that. But if you watch how your chart matures, you can see, right? You can see you stepping through and moving into a more mature kind of energy. And this, I'm seeing here that this could be like a role reversal. So you could actually be the masculine if I'm talking to a feminine energy. You could be the more masculine of the two. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles, the World, Page of Cups, 4 of Wands, 4 of Swords, 2 of Wands. This is like you're comparing completely different experiences here. 5 of Swords, 2 of Swords, and the 2 of Cups. Yeah. So look at that. So we got a bunch of 4s and a bunch of 2s here. I am definitely feeling like what you chose in the past, who you chose in the past, seemed really straightforward, down to earth, trustworthy. But the inverted or the negative, lower vibe Virgo is very critical. Super duper judgy, critical, negative, and perfectionistic. Don't you know? And everybody around you better, they try to run a tight ship, but it just comes off as like unnerving. Like it's hard to be around someone with low vibe Virgo because they're just constantly checking. How, are you doing it right? Are you doing it right? Are you doing it right? Like constantly, and super judgy. If you're not, you may be doing everything you want to be doing and how you're wanting to be do it, but if you're not doing it their way, super judgy. Okay. So if you have any, if you have like a South node in Virgo, because we have the North node in Pisces right now, which is another water sign. If you have the South node in Virgo or anything about past lives in Virgo, then you're going to, if you feel judged by other people in this lifetime, it's like, oh, maybe that's what I was doing to other people in the past, in my past lives. So there's definitely something here about that. And there's something about like, it's that chapter. If you've had someone who you thought was really stable, anchored, down to earth, but they were really judgy and really particular, persnickety even, I feel like there's a sense of relief here. This Page of Cups, there could be an apology coming, but that just feels like, it really feels like you have ended that chapter in your life when you're dealing with somebody who you thought was like that type of person, but actually they were super manipulative. They used their judginess to manipulate you. And so you're like, okay, but I want someone who's anchored and down to earth. Like there was a lot about that person that I liked. They were very good with money. They were very good. Like there's, there was a lot of good stuff there. But something about the lessons that you had together brought out this judgy person. And same with you. There was something about maybe you were much more head in the sand and let them kind of run everything because it was just so exhausting to deal with them. And instead, like now you're kind of like, actually, no, I want to be more active in my relationship. I don't want to just, this person used that power. Okay. And now I feel like there's a fear around choosing a new person, which you're going to have an opportunity here to choose a new person. But there's a sense of like, I'm super afraid I'm going to activate that same, I'm going to activate that same kind of paradigm. I don't want that. So there might be something here about being friends for long term. And that's what Two of Cups can be. It's like, I'm making a decision to kind of sit in this lovely energy, maybe of dating or whatever. The Two of Swords and the Four of Swords says, I'm really paying attention to my own inner mission and purpose. And I'm going to sit in this energy of friendship or of like the early stages of dating for quite a long time. Because I'm still learning about how did that happen before. All right. And where I see you going here is it's not so much that you're staying inside or working on your spiritual mission just to keep from getting married or anything like that. But there is a sense of like, there's a couple other gears. There's some levels that you're needing to, and you're working on it and you're doing a good job. Okay. I just want to validate that for you, that if you're working on your spiritual mission and you're doing your meditation and you're doing other things, you're doing a good job. But there is a little bit of fear that's going to come up that like, oh, is this okay? Can I trust that this is a person who's not going to use their power against me? So let's find out. Let's go deeper. Link is below if you want to continue on with me. If this is your reading, Scorpio, I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.